There's no way that they can make a live-action version of Spy Family good. I mean, come on. There's too many moving parts, too many variables. Better yet, how are you gonna get the perfect Anya for the role? Okay, damn. I can fully admit my mistakes. I stand corrected. And I can say pretty much the exact same thing about this entire live-action stage play, or stage musical, if that's what you want to call it. Because shockingly, it is fantastic. Hi guys, I'm Bayfond, and I absolutely adore anime and musicals. So whenever these two things come together, you know I'm here for it, especially when they're good. This is that live action play that was announced back in 2022, and people were absolutely hyped for it, especially in Japan. I mean, pretty much anything that's Spy Family centric over there automatically is already primed to be a success. I mean, you can't lose money with that IP. So you think that they'd be able to maybe get away with doing like a subpar live action adaptation and just walk away with money lining their pockets. But they actually committed to making it, and they made something actually good. Let me play you another scene with Anya here. Good lord. I could not have imagined a better fit for a live action adaptation for Anya. This is perfection. If I was none the wiser, I'd have thought that this was just a child doing the performance and being dubbed over by the anime voice actress. And I think there's actually quite a few people that are probably gonna watch this and end up thinking the same exact thing. But here's the deal. You can actually tell that she's performing and saying all of these things by the way that she's actually moving around and taking control of the stage here. This kid has undeniable talent. I am pretty much blown back by how impressed I am of this. It's like a one-to-one recreation of just her. And I'd say this, the most important part about this entire series, this entire franchise that is Spy Family, is Anya. So the fact that they got her right means everything to the entire production. But here's the kicker. They didn't just get one Anya for the entire play, they got 4. Yeah, they've done something that I'm not really too familiar with when it comes to casting actors for roles, and that's they've done double casting for the majority of their main actors, and specifically for Anya, they casted 4 specific actresses for her. In one of the articles that I read, they casted 4 people because they couldn't just split Anya's big personality on just 2. And from what I've seen, because I've seen quite a different few clips over here, every single one of these Anyas is fantastic. I can't exactly tell you who's who when it comes to who's performing in a certain time, but I always end up being stunned by what I'm seeing. It's almost like I'm watching a live action representation of who Arima Kana actually would be like. Child acting prodigies here. I just hope that the future is going to be kinder to them than it was for Kana. But like I said before, the rest of the cast also got doubled up. There's 2 Lloyds, there's 2 Yours, and there's 2 Yuris. Now, you're probably asking, what is this play about? It's Spy Family, but like what part in specific? Well, from what I can tell, it's a retelling of basically the beginning of the story where Lloyd gets Anya and they basically start their fake family again. The premise of season 1 of the anime and the first couple dozen chapters or so. But it moves scenarios and scenes along in a different way that it's supposed to fit more naturally into this stage play kind of setting. I guess more so of an abridged way of doing things. That's why Yuri's here in particular. I guess the creators of this play were interested in that dynamic about Yuri trying to find out who Lloyd really is, so they wanted to play up on that more for the play here. The main reason that I'm able to come up with this conclusion is because the scenes that I'm watching and also reading the names of the songs and the lyrics of them as well. So that pretty much conjures up the entire vibe that this is the introduction of the series. And it also doesn't really help out that we don't have really too much access to this here in the United States. I mean, it's never been released aside from like one live stream that was like global. But then again, you have to pay for access to that. And since that doesn't have like English subtitles to it, it's probably not the best for me to just jump in and try to watch it and comprehend everything that's happening. It'd probably be best if I had like the manga right next to me to go like, okay, this is an exact translation of this part right here. That'd be probably the only way of me getting the gist of what's gonna go on in the story. But it makes sense too, because this is a fairly recent play. Like I said, it got announced in 2022 and it got its debut in March of 2023. That's when it started its cycle of going around Japan to, you know, hold its performances. And it ended in some time in May, which is also when the live stream was being held. And from what I can tell, they were able to fit in quite a lot of content too. This is a 2-act play that has a total of 26 songs. And that's not even taking into account that a lot of the play is also spoken word as well. So it has quite a lengthy runtime, I would say. And the songs in this are pretty stellar too. You've already heard me raving about how good Anya's been, because come on, she's just fantastic at what she's doing here. But Lloyd and Yor are also giving their all in this too. I guess one of the requirements to be one of the 2 actresses to play Yor is to have a huge set of pipes in you that's able to belt out songs like this. Stunning vocally, I would say. And Lloyd's out here basically giving his best impersonation of a smooth criminal, giving Michael Jackson a good run for his money with these dance moves. And again, I would say pretty impressive here. The costume designs have been really accurate and well done too. There's not a single character in this that I would say is lacking or doesn't look or fit the part. Constructing this world here is a big part of the aesthetic for the series, so they've done a good job here too. And there's also numbers thrown in here that also help out to bring out this vibe as well. Anya has this whole segment where she's watching the TV and she's watching none other than Bond Man. And usually you could have maybe some dub over sound effects and stuff to just illustrate that she's watching the show, but they immerse you into it by bringing in these fictionalized fictional characters into the real world. So you basically get a whole number sang by Bond Man's characters. And I think that's pretty neat to see, giving us a little bit more insight on Anya's imagination overall. And I'm not the only one that thinks that this is actually a pretty good play either, because it's received a pretty warm reception all around. Even the creator of the series, Tatsuya Endo, went to watch the play, and yes, he did say that at first he was a little embarrassed by hearing the lines that he wrote being sung out on stage. But soon he was quickly immersed by how wonderful the world they built was. And he said that overall it was an extremely pleasant experience. And the only thing that I can think about now is, since Spy Family is so big and I don't really see the hype dying down anytime soon, are they gonna make a sequel play or sequel plays in the future as this is coming out? I mean, it'd kind of be dumb not to, and this really showcased that it can be done. But I don't know. I really wanted to showcase this stage play with y'all because I thought that it was just absolutely fantastic seeing all these characters come to life. I wouldn't be surprised if an English sub is in the works too, because come on, there's an untapped market over here for that kind of stuff. But nonetheless, I rest my case. As always, I was Bayfond, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.